We congratulate each of the candidates on their decision to run for elected office. We know that running for public office is a hard job with long hours, full of public and media pressures and scrutiny. Yet in our country, we wouldn't have it any other way. As a nonprofit organization, the Chamber does not endorse or cause to be indicated any sign of endorsement for any one political candidate over another. And although while some Chamber members may personally endorse or actively support candidates, they are not speaking for the organization. The Chamber does provide opportunities just like this, like politics in the park, for all or some races for candidates to express their views and meet with the public. And we've given those candidates that are here this evening that opportunity. As leaders of the Chamber, we believe it's important to offer those opportunities so that we might help educate the public about the candidates so that the public is better prepared to vote.
Good evening. As you just heard, unfortunately, Congressman Bill Posey is unable to be with us tonight as he's performing his duties as your elected representative in Washington, D.C. But I do have a short statement to read to you tonight from him. I would like to thank the Chamber for hosting Politics in the Park this evening. I wish that I could join you, but we do have votes scheduled here tonight in Washington. Accountability has been a driving force for me, and I've worked hard to lead by example. I've cut my own office budget, returning over $500,000 to the U.S. Treasury since taking office. And I supported efforts to cut all congressional budgets by 5% last year and 6% this year. I have introduced several bills to reform Congress, including legislation that would eliminate a generous death benefit set aside for the family members of Congress who pass away during the term of their service. I rejected the 2009 pay increase that was approved before I got to Congress and helped lead the effort to block any congressional pay raises for 2010, 2011, and 2012. In my 3 years in Washington, I have helped lead the effort for more transparency. We now have a rule requiring at least 72 hours for the public and Congress to review bills before a House floor vote can take place. No more pronouncements from the Speaker that you must pass the bill to find out what's in it. Obama passed under that pronouncement, and we must repeal so that health care is based on personal responsibility, choice, and individual liberty. These are the driving principles. Some claim I have not reached across the aisle. In fact, the co-sponsors of 4 of my prime bills are Democrats. When we can agree without compromising basic principles, then I do. But I will not compromise important principles when I believe others to be wrong. I was influential in bringing the balanced budget amendment to the House floor for a vote. Unfortunately, we were unable to get the supermajority needed for its passage. The President's own chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said that our deficit spending was the greatest national security threat to our nation. We had 2 choices for fighting the debt: the Ryan budget plan or no Ryan. The Ryan plan moves us toward a balanced budget within a decade and begins paying down the national debt. Those who criticize the Ryan plan offer no plan, and everyone knows that's irresponsible. I represent you as I would expect you to represent me. Thank you for your vote and thank you for your support. God bless you and God bless America.
Hi, I'd like to thank the Press Journal, the News Weekly, and the Chamber for inviting me to speak tonight. Most importantly, I'd like to thank all of the members of the community that have come out to hear all of us speak. My name is Tom Dean, and I'm running for the position of Property Appraiser. I'd like to thank all of you who have reached out to me telephonically, also through emails, through my website, which is www.dean2012.com. I've had over 4,000 hits in the past 2 months, and I'm very excited. As far as my background goes, I was raised in Florida. I've been here for 50 years. I've been appraising property for 30 years. That's Florida property for 30 years. I studied real estate and pre-law at Florida State University. And most recently, at the age of 50, I went back to school and got my MBA from Stetson University. Thank you, man. Fellow Stetson graduate. I also had the opportunity to work for Bank of America in a managerial capacity where I managed not 1 county, not 2 counties, but 37 counties in Florida for almost 5 years. I had a staff of approximately 25. And then in 2008, that's when I started my MBA program. Currently, I work for a company out of Melbourne. I get up at 7:30, get to work at 8, and get home about 5:30. And during my free time, I work on my campaign. I'm the control person for the United States, and I've been background checked and fingerprinted in all 50 states. My job as the Chief Appraiser and the National Compliance Administrator is to ensure that the company that I work for is performing within each of the state's statutes so that we're in compliance with their licensing laws. My name again is Tom Dean. I'm running for the property appraiser position. I would certainly appreciate your support. If you'd like to hear some talking points or some more information about me, I'll be at that booth right over there with my 2 children dressed in red. Truman, who's 14, and I'm embarrassing him now, and Tatum, who's 16, and my beautiful bride of 30 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, and the Chamber, and all of you who came out tonight. I am David Dolby, your County Property Appraiser. I had the honor of being elected the same time Ronald Reagan was in November of 1980, and I've served you, hopefully, faithfully ever since. Just the other day, we got our tax roll approval from the Department of Revenue. That is the 33rd tax roll approval without any problems since I've been elected. You say, how can that be in 32 years? Well, we had an interim tax roll, if anybody remembers, back in 1980. Anybody remember those days? Okay. I'm glad there's only 1 or 2. You know, actually, in my office, there's 3 people who have been there longer than I have. And we had very little turnover. You're going to get your tax notices shortly. If you have any questions about them, please call the office. We send those notices out to you so you can ask questions. We can change anything on the notice if you talk to us now. If you wait until January, it's not going to be so easy. As most of you know, my resume is quite lengthy. I graduated from American University with a BA in Government and Public Administration. I was with a banker and a broker, came here with Merrill Lynch in 1974. I've been a taxpayer, voter, and property owner in Indian River County since '74. I have senior appraisal designations, and I've really enjoyed working for you. Check our website, check the Press Journal, TC-POM website for the complete background. And once again, thank you for your support in the past, and I hope for your support on the 14th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me in the back? Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to so many fine folks that are here, and so many friends and so many supporters. To the Press Journal, thank you, and to the Chamber, Penny and her staff, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this campaign really has been about a successful sheriff, the 10th sheriff of Indian River County, who has guided this agency through the most difficult economic times in modern history. When I assumed the role of sheriff in 2009, we were standing at a $42 million budget. Some 44 months later into my first term, we reduced the budget by over $5 million. Simultaneously, our unemployment, as you know, has gone up, has gone down slightly, and most recently gone back up. Coincidentally, in the last quarter of this reporting period, our crime has gone down. We don't get too excited about that, ladies and gentlemen, because crime goes up and crime goes down. We're looking for consistent numbers, and that's what we're proud of. All of these things have been accomplished without layoffs, without layoffs, as well as concentrating on our main focus, keeping our response time average, as well as accomplishing the overall mission of keeping you safe. Very, very proud to be endorsed by the Press Journal, to be endorsed by Commissioner Gary Wheeler, former sheriff, as well as many, many business owners in this community. I'm 44 years of age. I've been married to my wife for 23 years. She's a small business owner. Her practice is in Sebastian. We're raising our 15-year-old and our 10-year-old. Most recently, I'm very proud that I have written documentation that I received in July from Attorney General Pam Bondi that says, I, Pam Bondi, endorse Darrell Lohr for Sheriff of Indian River County, and I agreed to allow to use my name in support of his campaign. I'm Darrell Lohr.
Good evening, my name is Bill McMullen, and I'm your Republican challenger candidate for the office of Sheriff in Indian River County. I stand before you after serving our community for 29 years with our Sheriff's Office. I'm very blessed. I rose through the ranks very quickly. I made lieutenant at age 24, and for the next 25 years, I was a lieutenant or higher in the Sheriff's Office administration. I worked in multiple divisions all over the Sheriff's Office. For the 8 years that Roy Raymond was our sheriff, I worked in corrections. I was the director of that facility where we had, under my direct command, we had 200 employees and a recurring budget of $15 million a year. I can tell you that the experience locally within our Sheriff's Office speaks bounds above the other candidate, our current sheriff, because my experience is right here in Indian River County. You can look and see some of the experience and some of my background if you go to my website, mcmullenforsheriff.com. It's loaded with information and data that will help you make the right choice, help you make an informed choice. I believe entirely, and I'm going to paraphrase the quote, I believe entirely in the famous quote by Abraham Lincoln. Our entire campaign is based and founded on Abraham Lincoln's quote. I believe, just as he did, if we give you the facts, that you will make the right decision. So from the very beginning, from the very first day when we launched our campaign in January of 2011, we've worked diligently to find information, to seek out information, to assemble information, to do public records requests so we can provide all of the information we think is necessary for you and us to make the right choice. So again, McMullen for Sheriff, I ask for your vote, I ask for your consideration on August 14th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much and good evening. First, I want to thank the Chamber for organizing this great event, and secondly, I want to thank Penny Chandler for moving everything indoors. I think we can all cheer about that. This election is about changing the way our government works. We must change the mindset of our elected officials who continue to ask for and spend more of our tax dollars because they can. I'm running for Supervisor of Elections for a number of reasons. First, I believe it's every citizen's civic duty to be as involved as possible in the political process. Second, I believe in the will of the voters and believe it's important for the people to have an opportunity to elect their officials. Lastly, as a Vero Beach resident for over 30 years, I have a vested interest in this community. I'm married to Jim Harpering, who serves as a general counsel for the Sheriff's Office, and I have 4 children. I attended public school here in Vero Beach and started working in public service at the age of 19 at the Public Defender's Office. I took college courses part-time and earned my Bachelor of Science in Professional Management. Most recently, I served as Executive Assistant to State Representative Debbie Mayfield. My work history and experience provide me with management skills and a solid understanding of government structure and processes. In addition, because of my experience in managing efficient and successful campaigns, I know how important it is to run smooth elections, and I understand what is expected of candidates, volunteers, and the elections office itself. Voters can trust me to present tight, realistic budgets and back those figures up. I will devote all of my energies to being fiscally responsible while providing essential services to the people. As your Supervisor of Elections, I will review operations, take a hard look at staffing, and explore the possibility of reductions in off-election years. I'm prepared to make the tough decisions and cut spending. Now is the time for fiscal leadership. I ask you to vote Sandy Harpering for Supervisor of Elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, and it's great. Thank you, and it's great to be here this evening, and thank you all for coming out to listen to what the candidates have to say. I'm Leslie Rossway Swan, and I'm honored to be your Supervisor of Elections. When it comes to elections, experience counts. I've served in the elections office for the past 8 years as the voter outreach coordinator, the assistant supervisor of elections, and 17 months ago, the governor appointed me to the supervisor of elections position. I was one of an extensive field of 13 candidates, my opponent being one of them, and I received the appointment because of my job qualifications and my experience. I have Since my appointment, I have streamlined operations. I've introduced innovative programs such as Ride and Register, where we are registering citizens to vote on the goal line, as well as dramatically reducing expenditures. I consolidated polling locations, saving over $120,000. I eliminated the Assistant Supervisor of Elections position, and I also voluntarily reduced my own salary and personal benefits by 22%. Budget is 12.6% less than 4 years ago leading up to a presidential election, and I just submitted my 2012-13 budget with almost a 10% decrease. I have been endorsed by the Press Journal, and they have said clearly Swan has shown not only an understanding of the duties of the election supervisor, but has successfully carried out that leadership. I'm also endorsed by Commissioner Wheeler and Commissioner Fleischer, School Board Chairman Carol G. Jordan, I'm sorry, that was my 22nd time, Carol Johnson and Matt McCain, and also by the Indian River County Mayor and Indian River Shores, Tom Cadden. I ask for your vote so I can continue to conduct secure, transparent, and trouble-free elections for the citizens of Indian River County. Vote Leslie Roscoe Swan on August 13th.
Thank you to the Chamber and Penny Chandler for, again, taking us out of the weather, but for hosting this event. I know it's a big job. Also to the Press Journal, thank you very much for putting this on. And as I say thank you to the Press Journal, I have to say thank you for that hour-long, intense interview with the Press Journal's leadership that resulted in an endorsement by the Press Journal talking about how well we run our office and how we understand what it is to be fiscally conservative. I thank you for that. I'd just like to tell you, anybody been to our office to get a driver's license? Several of you here tonight tell me about how great the service is, and I agree with you. Our staff does a wonderful job. But I'd like to tell you what I said to the County Commission the other day, because I think that's most important. We actually have our budget approved by the Department of Revenue, but as a courtesy, we worked side by side with the County Commission. And I went over and said, as you requested, our 2012-2013 budget is being reduced by 3%. Now, we've done that while taking on driver's license, a $500,000 operation every year, and we've continued to cut our budget. Total over the time I've been in office, 18.9%. This year we'll be coming in under budget. We'll be giving a little more back to a little more than the $3 million that we expected. It'll be $3,006,000, et cetera, et cetera. That will be a 4-year total of $12.5 million back to the taxpayers of Indian River County. Driver's license has increased by 52% in the past year. That's a lot of work for a lot of our staff, thanks to each and every one of them. We do 156 driver's licenses a day average in the 3 offices. And last week in Brevard County, in Sebastian office, they did 127 from Brevard and 35 from Broward. They like to come up to Indian River. We've had a 55%, I'm Carol G. Jordan, and I appreciate your support.
Mark, I want to thank also Penny, the Indian River County Chamber of Commerce, for putting this on, and 2, for bringing it inside, because I don't think my head would have handled the sun. A little bit of information about myself. I'm a 4th generation Indian River County resident. I'm married to my wife for 30 years, Beverly. I have been in the same line of work for 30 years. That being a 2nd generation funeral director. I've been doing that for 34 years. So customer service with me, ladies and gentlemen, is A, number 1. We have a daughter that's 27 who blessed us 3 months ago with our first grandson. We have a son that graduates in 2 weeks from Florida State University. And he goes to Atlanta in September to become a 3rd generation funeral director. So we will have lineage there. The reason I'm running for this office, and those of you that don't know, I had the opportunity of being elected by you, the people, in 2002 as a county commissioner. I served from 2002 to 2006. I was chairman of the board in 2005 and thoroughly enjoyed customer service and working with the people. I believe this time in 2012, you do have an opportunity to elect your tax collector. I, Tom Lowther, will be humbled on August 14th to have your vote. Thank you.
Just who is Tony Donadio? Why am I running for District 3 County Commissioner? And what will I do as your elected representative? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the next 2 minutes, I'd like to present myself to you and respectfully ask for you to vote Donadio in November. So who is Tony Donadio? At my core, I'm a conservative, caring, compassionate. I'm a business owner. I'm a widower and a father of 3 sons. I have 2 of my sons here today with me today, Mark, my youngest, and Anthony, my oldest. Life lessons have been positive, even in the face of unpleasantness. I'm a volunteer, a professional, and a contributing citizen. I have both the passion and the vision for our county. I'm running for the seat of County Commissioner because I think I can make a difference. I'm running because I have fiscal conservative and I will be a champion of frugal spending. I'm running because I listen intently and act diligently. I'm a genuine consensus builder. In short, Tony Donadio has a vision shaped by opinions and experience over nearly 3 decades here in Indian River County. This is my home. This is our home. Your vote for Tony Donadio means you believe in our future. You too believe in the vision of a county filled with abundance of protected natural resources. A business environment fostered by minimal government regulations and private sector job creation. I hope for a chance to earn and keep your trust in November, and I sincerely thank you for your consideration and ask you to vote Tony Donadio this November.
Good evening, everybody. Can you see me? My name is Bea Gardner, and I'm running for the County Commission District 3 seat. And I only have 2 minutes to tell you a little bit about myself, but I will ask you one question. How many of you have been watching the Olympics? It's great, isn't it? Well, this is pretty much like an Olympic when you're running for office. You have 2 minutes to tell everybody all about you. It's like being on the balance beam and trying to balance your time up here. I'm going to tell you as much as I can in 2 minutes, but I also want to tell you that one of the Olympic sports is the hurdle races. Are you familiar with that? Do you know what the biggest hurdle is when you're running for office? The biggest hurdle when you're running for office is to try to get your message out there. It's very difficult. And that's why we take advantage of opportunities such as this. Even though we only have 2 minutes, we try to get our message out there. And I'm going to get my message out there very simply. I call myself the people's candidate. Do you know what that means? It means that I'm really not involved with any particular group of people. I am my own person. I have no agenda. I answer to nobody, but I will do a good job for you. I'm honest, hardworking, and the most important thing is that I am willing to do the homework necessary to be the best commissioner that you will have in District 3. And the other thing I want to let you know, without a doubt, my door will always be open. You can come see me, you can come call me, you can email me. I will be open to any questions that you might have pertaining to what goes on in the county. I'm very fiscally responsible. I've managed my own businesses. I've raised 2 children alone for many years, and I'm a very successful businesswoman. I ask for your vote on August 14th for County Commission, Bea Gardner. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Zork. I'm your County Commission candidate for District 3. I was born and raised right here in Vero Beach and spent many summers in this room when I was a child. Over my 30 years in business here in the county, I've had the experience of working with virtually every county department that the County Commission has oversight and budget control over. Some of the issues that are facing the county coming up is how's the county going to cope and recruit with the retirement of nearly 50 firefighters from the fire department here in Vero Beach? How is the county going to look at restructuring its administrative side when 5 of the top officials that are in the drop program will be leaving and retiring from the county within the next few years? From the economic side, I've been working on a study to measure the competitiveness of Indiana County compared to other counties across the state that have been successful in recruiting new businesses to their area even during a down economy. Part of that is how can we best increase the effectiveness of the enterprise zone located at the Vero Beach Airport? I've been meeting with and speaking with aviation-related companies to see how we can entice them to look at moving their operations to the Vero Beach Airport. My primary opponent has no specific plans on how to promote or improve and retain our local businesses. I do. My primary opponent has no specific plans on how to approach the retirement of 5 top county officials. I do. My primary opponent's only plan is to establish a bureaucracy of opening up a utility commission. I care about Indian River County, and I've been an active volunteer my entire adult life, volunteering over 10,000 hours of community service during that time. I have been endorsed by the Scripps Press Journal Editorial Board, and I have also been endorsed by outgoing retiring County Commissioner Chairman Gary Wheeler. My name is Tim Zork. I ask for your support and your vote on the August 14th primary. Thank you very much.
Thank you. For those who don't know, I'm Brian Hetty. My opponent in this race, when questioned about the salary of a county commissioner, $56,000, said he never gave it a significant look. I'll tell you, if you don't give $56,000 a significant look, I don't want you handling my tax dollars. He voted to approve $15 million worth of sand restoration and talks about his fiscal conservative credentials because he laid off lifeguards. I think putting more sand and left lifeguards is not really the right way to go, but $15 million you could have paid for a lifeguard for 300 years. On the campaign trail, he's publicized his fiscal conservative actions by explaining that he cut his own travel expense by $2,500 a year. At the same time, in a stroke of the pen, in one motion, he sent $2.6 million to a for-profit corporation, that's your tax dollars, $2,500 in savings, $2.6 million in expenditures. It's going to take 1,000 years of savings for that one expense. I can tell you that I won't be so frivolous with your dollars. He supported a hostile takeover of the city utilities. I don't think governments should be involved in hostile takeovers of other governments. Despite his campaign rhetoric, he supports the continuation of bigger government for the county. I support telling people the truth. I support cutting wasteful government spending. I support ending the practice of dumping sand and eliminating lifeguards. I support ending the extensive use of consultants. My name is Brian Hetty, and I'd appreciate your vote either before August 14th or on August 14th. Vote early and often.
My name is Nick Thomas, and I have enjoyed running in the same group with Tim Zork, but he always steals my thunder. I too played in this building as a boy. I've been watching gymnastics on television, and I brought back memories of my sister being a gymnast in this very room. Many afternoons spent here. I was raised here in Vero Beach. I attended St. Helens School. I attended Vero Beach High School. Got my education at the University of Florida and Florida State University College of Law. I'm an attorney by trade. I'm a mediator by trade. I'm a writer by trade. The main thing I want to get across to you tonight is that in my race, in District 5, everybody can vote. Whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whether you're an independent, whether you live in District 5, wherever you live. Now, I didn't know that Brian Hetty was going to speak tonight, but he and I have had a lot of fun working together. He and I agree on a lot. But Brian has run, this is his 14th run for office. He's very practiced at what he does, but he's been elected once and voted out of office quite quickly. Bob Solari, not here tonight. He wasn't here, or wasn't available to speak to the Democrats. He wasn't available to speak to the National Organization of Women. He, I guess, has a sinus infection again tonight. What I want to get across to you is there are only Republicans running in my race, but I see myself as the more centrist of the Republicans, which means I feel like I can run strongly with the independents and the Democrats, and I think I have a lot to offer. But to the conservatives out in the audience, I want to emphasize to you that, like Brian, I take a lot of exception with the money that's been wasted by Bob Slaughter, the incumbent. We can list them off: $10 million for Dodgertown. Most recently, NetBoss, we spent $350,000 paying a company to bring jobs to Indian River County. They brought them, but not one went to an Indian River County resident. They went to, the high-paying jobs went to citizens of Brevard County. My name is Nick Thomas. I appreciate your being here, and I would appreciate your vote on the 14th. Thank you very much.